welcome everyone. This is Rachel Rose Little Crow, and this evening I have the honor and the pleasure of spending time with Schamet Horsfield, who is a beautiful and sacred embodiment of the priestess and the goddess. About 2 years ago, Schamet had the vision of the Awaken the Goddess Within summit. And through this inspiration, she has gathered some of the most beautiful, creative, loving, and evolutionary minds in the spiritual and transformational community to come forward in this great act of service, which is the Awaken the Goddess Within summit. I've had the pleasure of spending quite a bit of time with Schamet, and I can tell you that her greatest fulfillment and deepest pleasure is to support others in connecting to and finding their soul path and destiny. And she gives this loving service to the world. So on behalf of all the contributors to the Awaken the Goddess Within Summit, Schamet, we would like to thank you for gathering us and to welcome you into your time of sharing. Welcome, Schamet.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rose. Thank you for that introduction. And thank you for being part of this summit.
Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. So, I know that you've done so many interviews and asked these questions again and again. So now it's time, and I'm so excited. So Schamet, please tell us, what does the goddess mean to you?
Wow, it feels very interesting to be on the other side. It's such a big question. It's such an enormous question. And it means everything that everyone has said. But I'll speak for my own journey. When I found out about God and connecting in with God, I had an incredible journey. My mom and dad were not religious. Religion was not something that was forced on me. It was actually me that was a seeker. As a little girl, I started going to a Mormon church in Utah, and I would have been 7 or 8 years old. It was my choice. My family didn't go, but I was looking, I was searching, I was seeking for answers to find out what and why we were here. And I knew when I was a little girl that I was here for a reason. I knew that I had come here to planet Earth to create change. I knew this, at such a young age. And so, I explored lots of different religions, Mormon, Pentecostal, Baptist. I spoke in tongues. I went to Sunday school. I even at one point at 15 years old dressed up like a clown and taught Sunday school to all the kids that had come from, dysfunctional families that were having a hard time. We have a school bus and go and pick up all the kids and take them to the church and teach them about love. And I loved it. I loved it so much. I was that 15-year-old that was in silent reading class, reading my Bible and going to church 3 times a week because I wanted to. And I really loved the community aspect. I loved making a difference. We would go and sing in a choir called Something Higher to all the inmates that were in jail. And I loved being able to connect in with people's hearts and bring out the love, bring out the best in people. And so that was I know that's not answering the goddess question, but I found the goddess through my connection to finding God, you know, to that activation of something higher, something beyond what I could understand. And, you know, with church and with God, this is where it didn't make sense to me. The church told me I couldn't go to concerts. The church told me I couldn't have my nose pierced. There were certain things that then I thought, well, that doesn't make sense. They told me that crystals were bad and evil. And I thought, what? Hang on, crystals are in the earth. Like they're part of the earth. So how? I don't understand why that is wrong. And so I started to question the church. And, you know, I remember asking the priest, why is it bad for me to have my nose pierced? All the women in India have their nose pierced. You know, I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. And I left the church because there were no answers to my questions. And that was when I found the goddess. And the goddess made so much sense to me. You know, it was like the God was out there, like some God on some throne watching over us all, or, you know, something like. And then the goddess was like the connection to the earth and the connection to myself and the connection of love and nurturing. And that made so much sense to me. And so I instantly knew, like, I am a goddess because I am part of the earth and the earth is part of me, and that I'm connected to the universe and the cosmos and to each and every human being. And to me, you know, the goddess is love. The goddess is connection. The goddess, to me, is accessible. And yeah, that's why I say awaken the goddess within, is it's connecting in to, no matter how different each and every one of us are, we're all connected through love. And so for me, the goddess is really that unification, you know. And when I became a mother, you know, when I had my two boys, that was a huge awakening to the goddess, because when you have children, there's this unconditional love of a mother that is birthed. And then you realize that connection of being a creator and that unconditional love for these brand new little beings that are in the world. And that, I would say, you know, becoming a mother really opened me up in a whole new level of love and awakening within and connecting in with my own inner goddess and the goddess within each human being as well. So it's the connection to each other. It's a connection to love. It's the connection to this great, beautiful Mother Earth.